Hey guys, thanks so much for watching, following the YouTube channel and Facebook channel, and being, supporters of the ministry through prayer and giving and sharing and different things. Speaking of sharing, I want to share with you. I had a pastor last week had messaged me and somehow stumbled upon one of my YouTube videos, probably from one of you faithful followers having shared the link somewhere or what have you, and stumbled upon the video where I was praying for people to be delivered of the Jezebel spirit. And this gentleman, who's a pastor of a church, ended up vomiting profusely just watching the video. Naturally, needless to say, going through deliverance. He messaged me last week and just was thanking me, had shared my video. This had happened a while ago, and he did tell me when it happened, a year or more ago. But he was just, sharing my video and just sending me a message of encouragement and thanks for the ministry, and how he was shocked to know that he needed deliverance, and, how he was, very supportive with his encouragement of the ministry of deliverance getting out there so that more and more people can recognize the need. And he definitely experienced the freedom resulting from that deliverance, where there was noticeable change in his life. But furthermore, I had another pastor yesterday message me locally, who is coming to our Thursday service to get deliverance. Many of you recently know that I ministered in Dade City within the past few months, where the pastor of that church ended up going through deliverance. Guys, there are so many cases and testimonies of pastors, leaders who are coming to know the truth, not by debates or not by theological discussions, but by the demonstration of the power of the Spirit of the living God. And I want to just share this with you guys, that God is really, really doing some wonderful things through this ministry. But naturally, there are some very real and realistic means that are required that come through people such as yourself. And I'm really making this video for one reason, and that is to really reach out to the supporters, the followers of our YouTube channel and our Facebook platforms of the ministry across the world. And I just want to extend an invitation to you all that if ever you were considering or being provoked to sow into a significant cause that is really what I and many believe to be a true end times ministry, where the Lord is really coming back for a bride without spot or wrinkle, and how he's separating us from those things that have tried to contaminate and manipulate the purity of his bride for a long time. Folks, I want to ask you to really consider right now, during this time, this season, to sow into us, because this is when we feel the financial strains the most. Because as many of you know, I have a lawn business, and we in my lawn business, we get paid the same amount every month, but in the summertime the expenses are upwards of triple what they are in the off season, when we still make the same, have the amount coming in is the same every month all year round. So naturally, this is the most strenuous as far as expenses, and naturally that spills out into every area of our life, because including the ministry, because a lot of the support for the ministry comes from us personally, because I have to pay a gentleman to replace me in the lawn business, which is $400 plus a week, to hire someone just to do the labor of what I was doing out on the field. And then of course you have the expenses of ministry, whereas there's gasoline. Like right now I'm going to meet a pastor an hour away that's wanting me to come up to Alaska to minister, and of course all of the different things that are involved with the expenses of ministry. So I just want to encourage you guys to really, really consider, prayerfully consider, go before the Lord and ask Him, to see what He would want you to give to this ministry at this time. And I just really want to put this request out there because I know that many of you carry the love of God within you. And so I'm just asking you during this time to just really, really take this moment to just truly consider what the Lord would have you give. And you know that if you've ever been delivered, if you've ever been brought out of captivity, if you've ever been brought out of bondage, if you've ever been set free, you know what it means for one particular individual. And so just consider the movement in what God is doing through this ministry. And of course, we always appreciate those who are interceding and praying for this to go forth. Guys, think about it. The magnitude that pastors, I mean, growing up in as a Christian early on in my life, and having fallen away significantly from the Lord, I really truly never met Him at that time. But having just come from the church at a young age and having my limited experience with it, I would have never imagined that God would be using me to a degree to bring about a knowledge to the body of Christ and an awareness of this reality that could truly revolutionize the body of Christ by and large, as more and more pastors and leaders and laymen, because they also grow up to become pastors and leaders too, right? And so anyway, guys, thank you so much for giving. I'm going to include a link at the bottom of this post on YouTube and probably at the top of this post on Facebook. Just want to invite you guys to just really consider giving. And I just want to thank you so much for doing so. I just, it is so rewarded, as you know. I don't have to remind you of the scriptures, right? As I was almost tempted to do. So please, just be encouraged that your seed will sow or reap a significant harvest in more ways than one. Thank you guys so much.